Hey, Kriss here. Welcome on a Monday night. Very interesting day today with this whole bank thing and what's been going on. But you know what? Through all of that, look what we've got. More green in the market. Cryptocurrencies are up. They're not crashing. Crypto isn't going to zero. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of Doge, other cryptos, cover the bank thing just a little bit. There's a lot of other channels out there on YouTube that are getting much more into detail on what's going on with those banks. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it because it does affect this question. And the question is now the time to buy Dogecoin? Well, there will some who will say any day is a good day to buy Doge, right? But we do want to make money too. And that's what I've been talking about. I've been talking about wealth building and preparing for the future. In this bear market, you see blood on the streets. That's when you strike and you buy and you prepare for the bull market to come in the future. So we'll be talking about all of that as well. Let me pop down here into the corner and let me welcome back Mr. Musty. How are you? Hope you're well. You know, I try some things out and then I come back. And so here I am. It's still me. I was just talking about you the other day because I was just thinking about, setting limit orders. We were talking about limit orders. This was about a week ago or so. And then I said, I wonder if Musty still has that 4.5 cent limit order sitting there. So you got to tell me, do you still have that limit order sitting there at 4.5 cents? I don't think Doge is going to go down there. Don't think it's going to quite be there. But 2 nights ago, we did have someone ask in the chat, and that was right in here about 6.5 cents or so, whether it was a good time to buy Dogecoin. And I was like, I can't answer that question for you. You have to make up your own mind, but I tell you what I'm doing. And so that's what I've been saying here. If you've been watching me for the past couple of months, as I've been accumulating cryptocurrencies, not only Doge, but I've been diversifying my portfolio, buying other things as well. And I draw all these little green circles, and these green circles are when I'm making purchases. So I purchased Dogecoin on this dip at 704. Now, I had previously bought on this bigger dip back here on the 2nd of March, because Dogecoin had been trading up here, up in the 8s. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy Dogecoin up in the 8s. I think there's going to be a dip. And I had called that on Bitcoin. And usually when we see Bitcoin go for a dump, we see Doge and others. And this was the Bitcoin chart that we had. And I was calling for this big dip, this big white line here. I was like, Bitcoin's going to be dipping. And it certainly did here. And Doge dipped as well. And I caught Doge right at the bottom of this dip, right at 739. And I'm like, I felt pretty good about myself. I caught it on the dip because I'm a trader, right? And I like to get the best price possible. And of course, it recovered right away, but then kind of drifted back down into the low 7s. And then we saw another dip here. It's like, I caught it at 704. Because I was going to wait till it hit 7. Well, I was thinking 6.9. I was like, no, 704. 704. That's where I caught it. And then what did we have? We had Silicon Valley Bank drop. And then we had the USDC stablecoin, right, becoming depegged, drop. And so I was buying on the way down again. And I emptied my bag that I had of cash, used up all my buying power. But then someone asks, is now the time to buy Dogecoin? And I say, well, I bought Dogecoin up here, and I bought Dogecoin up here, and I bought Dogecoin there, and those were all higher prices than the current price now. And I said, hey, I can't tell you what to do. But we don't know what's going to happen with this banking thing. We could see another dip, but I was confident that we're talking about cryptocurrency here. And if you jump on the bandwagon all about crypto and don't like the banks, well, crypto is the answer to all of these problems that the banks are having, right? That's why Satoshi made Bitcoin was after the 2008 banking crash, that we could have a digital peer-to-peer cryptocurrency that doesn't have to deal with all that bank stuff, right? And that's why we're still here. And that's why we're still talking about crypto as well. But with Doge, I mean, here's Doge at 728 now. Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of retracement probably tonight. That's my guess, because we had another good run on the price of Dogecoin, as well as all cryptos. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin went on this big run today. And so you might ask, well, why not just buy Bitcoin, right? Well, you could, but here's the way I look at it. Bitcoin and Dogecoin many times trade together, but sometimes they come apart. But when they come apart, eventually Dogecoin catches up. And that's happened a couple times. And I follow that on this chart, which is the Doge Bitcoin comparison, which is right now at 0.000003. So it's right at this yellow line, which I just call 30. So this is where it's at now. And if I zoom out to the daily on the chart here, and I look at this and I say, well, Dogecoin has been consistently going down in its relationship to Bitcoin for the past number of months. And why is that? Well, if I zoom out a little more, it's because of this. This was the big, huge rise in the price of Dogecoin when Elon bought Twitter back at the end of October in 2022. At that time, the relationship between Doge and Bitcoin was right around 30. And look what happened. It blasted all the way up to 70. And we had a little gain again in November, when Doge was going down and Bitcoin, or Bitcoin was going down and Doge was going up at that time. So Doge regained some of that after Doge got shorted. But then Doge got shorted again, and kind of it's been this decline since then. But somewhere along the line, at some point in time, this guy, Elon Musk, he's going to do something else with Dogecoin. So don't buy one of these, right? Buy the real Dogecoin, and you're going to see those gains. It's going to happen. We don't know when yet, but it's going to happen. So like I said, right now we're in a bear market. The price is 7.29 cents for Doge, okay? Where do you think Doge is going to go? Well, it was just at 15 cents here after the Elon Twitter deal, so that's double the price now. Some would say if you're investing in stocks, 8 to 10% per year is a pretty good return. We're kind of spoiled a little in cryptocurrency, especially if you were around in 2021 when cryptos were making 8 to 10% a day. I mean, just crazy trading. And it's almost to the point where a lot of these crypto investors just expect that all the time. And that's not reality. But we know this can happen at some point in time. We don't know when that's going to hit. You don't want to be sitting on the sidelines, right, with a bunch of cash waiting for Dogecoin to hit some price that may or may not ever hit it. And Doge just takes off like it did back here in October. That's all I'm going to say on that. So I've been buying. And I've been buying on the way down here. And I've got a pretty good stash of Doge now. So I'm feeling good about that. What's going to happen with the bank stuff? Look at Bitcoin. Fear in the market because of the banks, and Bitcoin goes from 20K up to 24K. It's like, we don't care what's happening to the banks, right? People are putting their money into Bitcoin, and that supports all of cryptocurrency. The whole crypto market is up the past few days. So that's a pretty strong signal to me. Crypto's going to be okay. despite all the FUD, despite like Signature Bank, the regulators taking it over, even though it wasn't even bankrupt. We were talking about that last night because Low Roller was asking, like, well, Signature Bank is bankrupt. And I'm like, no, it didn't say that. The article we looked at didn't say Signature Bank was bankrupt. It said the regulators took it over. Systemic risk, right? They're trying to protect, the depositors, but they weren't insolvent. So I think there's still more to come out about Signature Bank and what really happened there. But Signature Bank was a big on-ramp for fiat onto crypto exchanges. Many exchanges were using Signature Bank. Another reason for them to shut it down, right? Because we don't like cryptocurrency. But look at the resiliency of cryptocurrency after that. That's what we're talking about. I'm in this for the ride, and I'm in it for at least through the next bull run, which is a couple years from now, if you believe the 4-year cycles, right? That we're going to be sitting here, we're still going to be chatting every night at 9 o'clock. I'm going to be here because this is fun, just having fun with it. I mean, I made $30,000 today. $30,000 today, just watching the charts. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty good day, right? That's a pretty good day. I know it's not going to be like that every day. There's going to be some down days. Yeah, I had some down days where I lost a lot of money too, but it's all on paper, right? So to speak, paper, because I'm not selling. I'm accumulating, buying on dips. I'm all out now for March. I got to wait till April 1st now before I could buy any more. Next time I get some available cash that I don't mind risking on buying more cryptocurrency. But that's where I am right now. And I mean, look at Bitcoin, 24,278 now for Bitcoin. 2 days ago, we thought Bitcoin was going to be crashing down below 20K. People were calling for $12,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Bitcoin. Banks were going to be failing. Cryptocurrency was going to crash. It didn't crash, guys. It didn't crash. It went the other way. So we'll get into some news in a minute. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Hey, Jason, how are you? I know Jason's on board with this wealth building thing because he's been talking about it too. And it's like, yep, that's right. That's what we're doing now. We're buying in the bear market and we're holding and waiting for the next bull run because it's going to happen at some point in time. And particularly with Doge, it's going to go on another run at some point in time. Hey, Martin, how are you? Nice green day. St. Patrick's Day is Friday. That's right. That is Friday. 123 XYZ is on time tonight. Welcome. Good to see you. Musty, still sitting here. Okay. Good to see. $17,000 Bitcoin again. At this point, there would have to be some other big negative catalyst, I think, for Bitcoin to even go down to 17K. And it was just at 17K at the beginning of January, but I don't see it right now. I mean, people were taking money out of their banks and buying Bitcoin with it. With this whole banking uncertainty and what was going on, look at what's happened to cryptocurrency. Hey, Taylor, Doge is held back because Bitcoin maxis are afraid. Well, we know that Bitcoin maxis don't like Doge. And I think they're very happy every time Doge goes down and Bitcoin doesn't. I mean, I read a lot of that on Twitter. But Doge will have its day again. It'll happen. Doge 7.25 right now as we're talking. You can only transfer huge amounts of money for nearly pennies, instant transactions. That's Doge. That is Doge. Hello, CDM. Welcome. Big bear here. Those were some tasty dips. They were. A lot of you guys were buying on the dips too, because we were talking about it. Yeah, Dogecoin is secure. You don't need a Lightning network. Don't need any layer 2s. It's just Doge. Wallet to wallet transfer. For like, you can transfer like so much and pay like 0.02 Doge as a network fee, which is practically nothing. It'll get there. Oh, Musty, waiting for Matic to go to 50 cents. I don't think Matic's going back to 50 cents. I don't think we're going to see it. The time to buy was when it just dipped below $1. But hey, you do you. Good luck. Thanks, Jack. I like Doge anywhere under 10 cents. Prices are very nice. That's what Hitman says. And some of you are just DCAing. You're just buying, like once a week, you're just buying. Not a bad strategy. Again, I'm a trader and I like to see those dips and buy when I think the dips hit. So we do not know, Kyle, the Doge 1 mission launch. Some people are saying August, maybe. So, that's almost 6 months away. I'll believe the date when Elon posts it. Other than that, I don't believe anything I see on the internet. There's a lot of fake news out there. And so I don't know, but that will be great for Dogecoin. Patience is a virtue. It is. And where I'm sitting now, my patience isn't waiting for the price to go down to buy it at a low price anymore. I'm done with that. I've done a good portion of my purchases. Now I just want it to go up. That's where I'm sitting. I'm now a bull. And what we saw the past couple days was very bullish for cryptocurrency, because you got all this FUD being thrown from Gary Gensler to Jerome Powell to who knows who else. And again, I think this whole signature bank thing was just complete FUD against crypto. I don't think they needed to take over signature bank, but they did. Doge is better than Bitcoin. Bought more Doge on the dip. That's good, Jason. Bitcoin is now being touted as the store of value. And that's what we heard all weekend long, right? Don't put your money in banks, put it in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a store of value. Well, Bitcoin wasn't made to be a store of value. Bitcoin was made to be a currency, right? If you read the white paper, Satoshi's white paper, it was all about currency and transactions. And what's limiting Bitcoin in becoming that is its hard cap and its scarcity. Yeah, Bitcoin will probably be worth a lot of money sometime in the future. Right now, though, we have all these other cryptocurrencies that are pretty much trading along with Bitcoin. You don't have Bitcoin taking off and the rest of cryptocurrencies standing flat. They go together. You see this big run in Bitcoin, these big green candles. Well, you see Doge, big green candles. You see Ethereum, big green candles. The whole cryptocurrency market moves together. You don't just have Bitcoin just taking off on its own and the rest of cryptocurrency staying flat. But you have sometimes, you've got some cryptos, though, like SHIB and Doge and others that do take off on its own, because we've seen it happen. So that's why I like to be in those. I'm in Doge, I'm in SHIB. I even bought some Jasmy, because Jasmy, I think, is probably going to do that too at some point in time. It's just going to take off. And I wanted to be in the game when that happens. So now, will Jasmy ever do that? I don't know. SHIB, probably. That's where the ETH whales are there. And they're not in the SHIB game for SHIB to just lay flat, right? It's going to pump at some point in time. This whole Shibarium beta test thing was a big fake out. And poor Bone, they got people to buy Bone token, and then Bone just lagged really bad. But anyway, we're here to talk about Doge and one more question here first. Mr. Cheyenne, welcome. What will happen to Doge during the Bitcoin halving? It'll follow Bitcoin. Unless there's some other news, it's just going to follow Bitcoin. And Bitcoin really doesn't react like right away on the halving. There's usually a lead up to the halving, and then there's the follow through afterwards. But whenever that halving happens, there usually isn't, or there hasn't been in the past, some big spike in the price of Bitcoin or a drop in the price of Bitcoin. It just kind of happens and Bitcoin keeps going and Doge will just follow it. First, there's going to be a Litecoin halving. That comes in August of this year. We're still a year away from Bitcoin halving, but 6 months from now, Litecoin is going through its halving. If you want to get on the Litecoin bandwagon. So let's look at Doge, right? Dogecoin price analysis. Doge obtains a massive bullish potential up to 7.34 cents. Wow is right. That's what we saw with Doge today. Doge has been experiencing an upward trend over the last 48 hours. Price increased from 666 to 719 on the 12th. And then today, Doge showed even more positive momentum, significantly increasing in value up to 7.34 cents. So, this is the big run we had last night. And this is when I was on the stream last night. And then tonight, here we are again, up. That's pretty bullish for Dogecoin. The Dogecoin price analysis reveals the cryptocurrency following an increasing movement, potential towards positive. Despite the current state of the market, significant potential for reversal in the coming days. So those that are looking for a dip, if you follow this advice, we might see a bit of a reversal, right? Dogecoin moves towards this resistance level, presents an opportunity for the bulls to take control of the market and drive the price of Dogecoin up beyond expectations. So look for a dip, hits support, and takes off. Where is that going to be? Hard to say right now. I mean, right here we've got maybe 6.88 seems to be probably the most recent level of support on the short term. So if we do see Doge coming down, it may dip below 7 cents, and I would look at support at about 6.88. It would have to take much more significant movement, I think, to come below that level. But again, this is just in the short term, so there really isn't a lot of long-term support to look at. Zoom out a bit, and down here at 6.30 was the lowest that it hit here on last Friday, as Silicon Valley Bank was getting taken over by the feds. So those would be your two support lines, I would say, because that's what you'd be looking for. As far as resistance going up, 7.4 right now is the short term. That's just what it hit earlier this evening. And I come out to the 2 hour and 7.60 right here, this blue line. That's your next level of resistance up on for the bulls, coming up and hitting 7.60. So we'll be watching this and we'll tune in again tomorrow on that. What's next here? Bitcoin, Ether, and Doge soar after the U.S. government's Silicon Valley Bank bailout. Again, it wasn't a bailout. I mean, everybody's using this word bailout. The U.S. government is not bailing out the bank. It's not. And I see this all over YouTube, all over Twitter. Guys, that's not what it's doing. U.S. government is making depositors whole. That's all they're doing. They're making the depositors whole. Everybody who invested in this bank by buying its stock and its stock goes to zero, they're not going to be made whole. The bank is done. There's no more Silicon Valley Bank. It's done. It's not going to be bailed out. by the government. But the depositors are going to be made whole, which I think is great, because it's not the depositors' fault that Silicon Valley Bank made poor choices in what to do with the money that was entrusted to them by depositors. I go to this. This was Plan B posted this, or it was a retweet from Dystopia Breaker here. And we talked about this in a lot of detail a couple nights ago, that this was the problem. 2016 to 2019, we saw these slow, steady increases in the Fed fund rate that happened right up until just before the pandemic hit. And then it all went back down to zero. Well, what happened in this about a year and a half right here is that you had a lot of startup companies and venture capitalists putting tons of money into Silicon Valley Bank to the tune of like an extra $100 billion more money than they knew what to do with. And you know what banks do with the money, right? They don't just put it in a vault, right? They lend it out, right? They buy bonds and treasuries and all these things, right? To make a little bit of money on that. Because they don't want the money just to sit there, because you have the money sit there and inflation goes up and the money goes down in value. So the bank doesn't just hold your money for you, right? They want to be profitable. So they make money off of your money. Well, what happened was they could only do so much in a safe manner. And they started buying these long-term treasuries at about 1.75%. Well, look what happened with all these hikes over the past 10 months or so. The Fed has been hiking these rates so fast that what happened to all those treasuries? They went under. This is all of the unrealized losses on all of those treasuries. So the VCs and the companies got wind of this, and they said, I need to get my money out of Silicon Valley Bank. And they started pulling the money out. And it's just not hundreds or thousands or even millions, like billions of dollars. Silicon Valley Bank only had so much liquidity, right, that they could give out. Then they didn't have any more. They were selling some of those treasuries for billion-dollar losses, and that was it. So that's what happened. But it was those decisions that they made back here, that Silicon Valley Bank made. They were betting those interest rates weren't going to be raised in 10 years. Who makes that bet? In 10 years, you're not going to see interest rates raised above 2%. And then all this stuff is coming out about they don't have a risk officer. They haven't had a risk officer for a year or two. And that's someone in a bank who's supposed to be looking out and making sure that they're not taking on extra risk. And then it was bad decision after bad decision after bad. So that bank should not be bailed out. The executives of the bank, they're gone. They're done. Yeah, some of them also cashed out, right? Selling, the CEO sold $3 million of his own stock in the bank like a week before it crashed. Crazy. But those who honestly were giving their money to the bank, depositing their money there, they're going to be made whole. So there's no bank bailout. So that's the first thing. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. It just bugs me when you see this stuff and you're just like, what's the bailout? And as Yellen said yesterday and Biden said today, right? It's not going to cost the taxpayers. Well, eventually, right? Banks will have other fees or whatever, right? That will be passed on to the consumer. But it's not the taxpayers per se that are making these depositors whole. So What else? Oh, thanks. Dogecoin price prediction as $500 million in trading volume floods in. Are the whales buying? So there could be whales that are buying Doge, but I think there's also a lot of retail traders too. A lot of retail traders. And we saw a big uptick in volume here. Look at the volume when Doge was kind of trading sideways up here in the sevens. It was pretty low. Every once in a while we had a little bit of spike, but look at that. Almost all of those spikes are red spikes. And that's when Doge was going down. You saw those spikes. And a lot of those are shorters. All low volume. But look what happened as soon as we had this bank crash and the price went down in the sixes. Big volume. That big volume is a lot of people buying a lot of Doge, right? And we still have it as Doge is going up with these big green candles. Again, this is a 2-hour chart here, but we see these big green candles now. That's steady Dogecoin buying is what that is. Steady Dogecoin buying. So yeah, could be whales buying, but it also is a lot of retail traders buying Dogecoin. That's what I think. Let me get caught up in the trash here, or the trash in the chat here. David, a lot of chats here. Yeah, First Republic Bank, their stock is way down, but they said that they were whole, and I think JP Morgan was helping them out. So I think they're going to be okay. Kangaroo market, yes, up and down, kind of scary times, but not 2008 again. It is not. That's not what we're living in right now. And yeah, the VIX. So here's the VIX chart, right? VIX spiked up to 30 and then came back down to 26. This is fear in the market is what the VIX is. It's just fear in the market. So we saw a lot of it on Friday and then again today. VIX doesn't trade over the weekend, but it came flying back down. But yeah, big spike in the VIX and it came right back down. So yeah, we don't know how this is going to play out this week. We got CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. The White House already said at the end of last week that they thought the numbers were going to be pretty good, and they wouldn't leak that unless they really wanted people to know that it's going to be okay. So I don't think we're going to have hot numbers and people are going to freak out on the inflation numbers. And then that's going to lead to FOMC next week, and our interest rate's going to be raised again to battle inflation. Right now, a lot of people are thinking they're just not going to raise them this month and just keep it flat in order to keep other banks from running into problems. So that's kind of important. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Hey, what's up, Bull Run? Welcome. Having a good time. VIX isn't a stock. It's just an index is what it is. It's an index. So, AWOL, how are you? Do you think Doge will take another dip? That's what we were just talking about just a few minutes ago, man. That is unknown. I don't know how this is going to play out right now. I'm guessing, and this is where we drew the 6.88 line here, is that if we do see a dip, we may see Doge, touch 7 cents and maybe 6.88 again. But because of the craziness of Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is trading, tomorrow Bitcoin could just take off even higher, 25, 26,000. And if that happens, we're not going to see a dip in Dogecoin. it's going to follow Bitcoin. So that's where we are right now. Kind of crazy, but that's where we are. Next, what makes Dogecoin so popular today? So this is Macon.com, the Telegraph here. Interesting overall article, but I just want to come down to the bottom here, and it's, can Dogecoin survive? Because that's what we're talking about, is the future. This covers at a high level some of the past. We talk about a lot of Dogecoin's past here on this channel because I know quite a bit about Doge. But this is what we've got here. It's no secret the cryptocurrency industry is growing. And this is what I say, we're still early in this whole crypto. And those that are investing in crypto now, you're investing for the future. They were so early. I don't think cryptocurrency is going anywhere. I think blockchain technology is the future. Crypto is what runs it. There's going to be some central bank digital currencies that's going to happen. But I think a lot of the users in most country aren't going to be happy with them if they have private blockchains. It's not a public ledger. People aren't going to want government having control over their money, knowing everything that they spend their money on. So that's not going to go over very well. And especially here in the United States, not going to go over well at all. So cryptocurrency has that for it. Dogecoin is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies thanks to its social media popularity. And how many of you, Dogecoin was the first cryptocurrency that you bought? I'll bet quite a lot. Doge was your first crypto. And that happened especially back in 2021 when we had that first bull run going on with Doge. So a lot of people were buying Dogecoin, trying to figure out, how do I buy Dogecoin? Where can I get Dogecoin? Because that's what everybody was talking about. We're talking about Bitcoin. They're talking about Doge. So we know Doge can do that again. The crypto community has criticized Dogecoin's high concentration of wealth in a few hands. And again, another misconception, about 20 Dogecoin wallet addresses own over 50% of Dogecoin circulating supply. So if one of them sells suddenly, it could cause a big price shock. No. I mean, Elon fell into this trap a couple of years ago because he didn't understand what this was. And I've covered this many times on this channel. We'll have to wait and see if Doge ends up being a playful meme coin or something much more impactful. And that impactful word is a lot behind Elon Musk. But and before I get to the whole thing, here's another one, right? You today, 33.5 billion Dogecoin stored by Robinhood. As Doge is up 6%. So, I mean, this is just one of those articles that just gets thrown together, which really doesn't have any substance to it at all. But we know that, and we've referenced before, this chart, this is bitinfocharts.com. These are the top 100 richest Dogecoin wallets. And the number one wallet here has 33 billion Dogecoin, worth $2.4 billion today. And that's 24% of all of the Dogecoin. This 33 plus a couple other wallets that aren't in the top 100, but we know are other Robinhood wallets. I think they add up to about somewhere between 36 and 38 billion Dogecoin that's in the hands of Robinhood. So if you have Robinhood on your phone and you bought Dogecoin and that Dogecoin is just sitting there in your Robinhood account, guess where those coins are? They're right here. They're in this wallet. This DPDLB wallet is your Dogecoin. If you own Dogecoin on Robinhood, this is where it is. This 33.5 billion Dogecoin. Now they've got some other wallets, which are their hot wallets that they use to have ready when someone wants to make a Doge transfer, right? But it doesn't come out of this wallet. This is their cold storage wallet. they've got a lot of Dogecoin. We don't know how many people actually own Dogecoin on Robinhood. They don't say. And how much of this 33 billion Doge is actually owned by people who have bought Doge, and how much is Robinhood's? Because Robinhood bought all this Dogecoin on behalf of the Dogecoin holders to provide liquidity for trading, but we don't know the exact numbers of that. But I would guess a large chunk of this is yours and my Dogecoin. Because I've got a bunch of Dogecoin on Robinhood now too, because I've been buying. And I've been buying on Robinhood lately because there's no fees on Robinhood. I've got my link right here to Robinhood. If any of you want to check out Robinhood and you haven't already, you can use my link, get a couple free stocks, and then just sell the stocks and buy more Doge. You can do that. These top wallets aren't selling Dogecoin. So that FUD out there just, it bothers me too. People just write stuff and they don't do their research. Silicon Valley Bank is not getting bailed out. The top Dogecoin wallet is not going to dump a bunch of Dogecoin and crash the price. Not going to happen. But you see these articles again and again. So I'm just letting you know. And not happening. Not happening. Great trading today, Charles. Yep. Ghost Guitars, how you doing? Need some FOMO momentum to kick in. Yeah, Elon's been pretty silent lately. I think he's been a little busy. Some were thinking that he might have been in the auction for Silicon Valley Bank. Who knows? Bull run, glad I bought more Bitcoin at 19K. Let it dip so I can get some more. See, I'm beyond that thinking. I just want it to go now. I don't want to be scared by more dips. You can buy calls and puts and shares on VIX. Yep. You don't make money trading crypto? Well, we talk a lot about it on this channel, David. Swing trading crypto, day trading crypto, it's very hard. It's hard. Because you don't know what's going to happen. But buying in a bear market and then waiting for the bull market and selling then, I think you got a lot better chance of making money. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not telling anybody else what to do. I'll tell you what I'm doing. And I believe in these 4-year cycles. And when Bitcoin goes through its halving in a year, and then the year after that, we have seen 4 consecutive times Bitcoin's passed, or 3 consecutive, this will be the 4th, would be a bull run. And I'm going to be along for the ride. And then we're going to talk about taking profits and how we take profits along the way. But trying to skim little bits here and there, swing trading, you can try it, but maybe try it at first with just a little bit and see how it goes. But chances are you're not going to make much. I'm waiting for the time when all of these coins go way back up in price again. Let's pick one. I don't know. Ethereum Classic. So here's Ethereum Classic, trading for under $20, right? Well, where was it a year and a half ago? Let's zoom out. Let's see where it was a year and a half ago. It was trading up over $100. That's a 5x. It's a 5x from now. Buy Ethereum Classic for $20 and you wait, eventually it may come up to $100. You're not going to make that buying it and just scalping and trying to time when it's going to go up and when it's going to go down, swing trading. So, and then you do options and good luck. Hey, there's a lot of people who make money with options and puts and all of that. I don't do that. I tried some of that before in stocks, and I'm just like, yeah, nah, I'm a buy and hold kind of guy now. I've done some swing trading of Doge, and I made a couple videos about it, and I was successful with a couple of them. Just the setup was right. But in the end, you know, I can make $1,000 here and $1,000 there, but I want to make $1 million, right? I have over 1 million Dogecoin now. I'm pushing 2 million Doge. That's where the money's going to be made. That's what I'm talking about. Retired crypto hunter, how are you? I wouldn't use a currency that gives control to anyone else. You hold Doge, ADA, SHEEP, and VeThor tokens. Good. Letting it ride. That's right. I get my VeThor tokens because I hold VeChain, and I have my VeChain staked. So, and I had bought some VeThor tokens quite a bit ago too. But for those that don't know, here's the VeChain, which is now at 2.3 cents, which is incredibly low. If we zoom out on VeChain, we can see that VeChain was up here at like 15 cents. November of 2021, 16 cents, and now it's at 2.3. But then if you stake VeChain, and I do that on Binance.us, which is this link right here, Binance.us. So I buy my VeChain and I stake it, and then I'm awarded VeThor tokens. This is the VeThor chart. So I got a lot of VeThor tokens for free by staking VeChain. And I'm just going to let it ride and keep accumulating VeThor tokens through staking of VeChain until it's back up here somewhere. I don't know, 10 cents, 12 cents, 15 cents. Somewhere along the way, I'll probably start selling little bits, but that'll be the next bull run. That's what I'm waiting for. Are we 100% sure there's going to be another bull run like this? No, we don't know that. But those 4-year cycles again, I'm probably going to have to do another show just on the 4-year cycles again, just to remind people what that's about. So I'll probably do that. But this has been a nice run for VeChain coming up, like most cryptos. So that's a good thing. Why would we buy this? So they can dump 24% on us on one day? No, you're not listening, David. No, they're not. You're not going to have a whale selling billions of Dogecoin in a day. Not going to happen. Hey, CDM, do I have any gold or silver? I do not. I have. I can't really say. Siri's listening to me. I have a 401k plan that I've been buying into, and that's all in Vanguard 500 is what all of that is in. And I've been putting into that, and I've had employer matching in that, and a big chunk of that. I've got that, I've got real estate, and I've got crypto. That's where my my holdings are split amongst those. And my crypto percentage is going up. A little more risky here, but I believe in it. So that's what I'm doing. But no, I don't have gold or silver. I'm not hedging some big crash by buying a bunch of gold. And I know gold price went up to 1900. Here's the gold chart. Right? Gold has been up. But you know what else has been up? Bitcoin. Right? How often do you see that? Gold and Bitcoin going up the same day like this. Bitcoin is starting to diverge away from stocks because people realize the value of Bitcoin, the value of cryptocurrencies. We'll see. Roku's going to get, they're going to be made whole. Yeah, they had a bunch of money with Silicon Valley Bank, but the US government is going to make them whole. So We'll see. We'll see. You don't believe in the cycles? It's all random? Okay. We are going to do the 4-year cycle charts again. Can you come tomorrow night? If you can come tomorrow night, we'll do it tomorrow night. Okay. Okay, Bull Run. We'll do that tomorrow night. You tell me you're going to be here Friday night or tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, and we'll do the 4-year cycle, and we'll go through that. Okay. Crypto's hard to trade. Oh yeah, the options. Yep. And I already answered that. My prediction: they'll make markets sit for a few more years, back and forth. We'll see. We'll see. I'm more interested in cryptos like Doge becoming actual currency we can use in stores, pay with bills and such. Yep. I know. The crypto is so easy. About a year and a half ago, I had this guy in India doing a bunch of graphics for me. And I had met him on a Discord talking about Doge. And he said he wanted to get paid in Doge. I said, you do these graphics for me, I'll pay you in Doge. And we did that, wallet to wallet, like that, to India. How else would I pay somebody in India for services? I'd have to go through the bank, go through a wire transfer, right? And pay all these fees, and it would take 5 business days and all of that. I transferred him a bunch of Doge. It was done like that, and it cost me like a penny or two as a fee to send him that Doge. That's how easy crypto. I mean, that's what XRP is all about. That's what Ripple's all about, is international transactions. And they just have to get through this stupid SEC lawsuit, get that settled, and XRP will take off. But Doge will too. Because we're going to see this more and more adoption of crypto as currencies, like Bitcoin was initially made to be, but isn't anymore, because now it's more like gold, the store of value. But Dogecoin is the people's cryptocurrency. And it has the potential to be that, just by the way it's made. I mean, Billy Marcus says that he made it for fun, but it's actually really good. It's actually a really good crypto. So I don't have stop losses set. I believe in the future of it. What if it goes to 2 cents? It won't. Dogecoin has so much popularity. There's so much support for it. Doge starts dropping, and we saw that. And we were talking about that earlier on the stream here. Doge is down here hitting 6.3 cents. And look at the volume pick up as people are buying and bringing its price back up, because they think that that's a good price for Dogecoin. So it didn't drop any further. Thank you, Ghost. Close to 1 million. It's good. Curtis will be here. 9 o'clock tomorrow. CDM wants to hear about the 4-year cycles. Okay. We'll do 4-year cycles. Did you take advantage of the free $10? No. I've got there was a thing about, is that over now? I don't remember. I just have so much going on. I remember what the deal was, and I had the email saved, and then it just got lost. So I don't think I know I didn't do it. And I think the time is up now, right? Yeah. Being able to pay others in Doge is a great thing, especially international. You like the idea of international transactions. Exactly. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency. Anyone building dApps using Doge? Not that I know of. Crypto's changing. Cycles will be changed too. We shall see. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow night. So come join us. Just, again, there's no saying history is going to show you exactly what the future is going to be. But when something happens 3 times and we're going into the 4th time now and all the signs are there that it could happen again, and there's a lot of other reasons too that kind of support it. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. Loves Doge. We will talk about the possible prices of Dogecoin in 2025 tomorrow night. So join me, 9 p.m. Eastern time, United States time. And we're going to be talking about 4-year cycles. And we will talk about what Dogecoin could look like in 2025. So join tomorrow. The Robinhood promotion isn't over yet. I will look into it. You take an online survey, use the survey money to buy more Doge. Okay, thanks for the reminder. I know I've got the email and I haven't done it. So I'll go back and I'll look for that and I'll do it. Wish you had 500,000 Doge. Yeah, I mean, that's just the position I'm in because I bought in 2021, I bought 400,000 Dogecoin at 2 cents a coin. That was my initial $8,000 purchase of Dogecoin. That's where I started. And I have been accumulating ever since. But this past couple weeks, I've had one of my side businesses has been doing very well. And so I had some extra cash and I'm like, I need to have more Dogecoin. So is it the smartest thing to do with your money? Maybe not, but I'm having fun with it and I believe in it. So and plus it was extra money from a side business too. It's like I'm not using my my mortgage money, my rent money, my utility money, my food money buying Dogecoin. They have free Dogecoin faucets, Bitcoin faucets. If you don't have money to buy Doge, try the faucets. Yep, there are different ways to accumulate Dogecoin. They don't give you a lot of Dogecoin, but they do give you some. I looked into mining, but mining is it's pretty pricey to get into. I think the mining rigs now are a little cheaper for Litecoin and Dogecoin mining. But it still takes you a while to recoup your initial investment. When I was first looking at it, it was probably about a year ago, the price of the ASIC miners then, I calculated it would take 9 to 12 months of good mining in order to pay that back. And that was just too long for me. Just no, not going to do it. So I didn't. Especially here where I am in Boston, the price of electricity here is way too high. So way too high. About my family supporting crypto. A lot of them don't know what I do. And some of them, when I first got into it, they were asking me a bunch of questions of how to like get in, and they weren't really knowledgeable. And I just thought, what if this goes bad? I don't want to be the one that is talking my relatives into getting into crypto. And then if they lose money in it, because it is risky, I don't want to be the one that they're pointing to. Say, you told me to buy. I don't want to get into that position. So I was like, I've been relatively quiet about it, let's say. I just talked to all you guys about it, right? So you're my family now. You're my relatives in this crypto world here. Is all you guys. I'm just, don't really talk about it much. But I have fun with it still. And they know I do this. They know I've got this YouTube channel, but they just let me do my thing. Some probably think I'm crazy. Okay, that's it for tonight. Here we are, Dogecoin still 7.31, right? We're going sideways. Maybe we're finding here, new support right here, in the 720s right there. What do we talk about, right? We talk about higher lows, right? That's what we've got. Look at that. Higher lows. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Stair stepping up. We like that. That also means, right, higher highs, right? So not saying that this momentum is going to continue, but right now, kind of on a run. Look at Bitcoin up to 24,500. It's going up here again. So I would expect a retracement from this point, but right now it's not showing it in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still going up. People still buying Bitcoin. And we're seeing it across cryptos. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's the question, right? I will be having a heck of a party if Doge hits $1. A heck of a party. I probably won't have all of it, though. I won't be all into. I'm going to be selling some Dogecoin, taking some profits along the way. And we'll be talking about that when we get to the bull market. So please, everyone, subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, give the stream a like. I'm going to be putting the Dogecoin charts back on right after this 24/7 Doge chart. So you can enjoy that. Leave a message in the chat on that. Leave a comment below here. All of that is all good. So appreciate the support. And everyone have a good evening. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about 4-year cycles. So looking forward to that. We'll see you then.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.